You know, for as long as we have looked up at the stars, we've all asked that same question. And for one very brief, very tantalizing moment back in 1977, we thought we might have actually heard an answer. So today we're going to dive into two cosmic puzzles that really fuel our search for life beyond Earth: the legendary WOW signal, and a much more recent visitor from interstellar space, 3I/Atlas. I mean, this is the ultimate question, right? It drives our science, it inspires our fiction, it's at the core of our deepest curiosities. It is the fundamental what if that sits behind every single telescope and every deep space probe we launch into the void. Just try to imagine it. You're listening to the static of the cosmos, day in and day out, just noise. And then suddenly, for just over a minute, this clear, powerful, and totally baffling signal cuts right through it all. For 72 seconds, it really felt like the universe was trying to say something. Okay, so our first mystery starts right here. It's a signal that has perplexed scientists for almost half a century now, and it's still one of the greatest unsolved puzzles in the whole search for extraterrestrial intelligence. So let's set the scene. It's August 15th, 1977. The Big Ear radio telescope in Ohio picks up this incredibly strong signal. But here's the thing, nobody knew it at the time. It was just a bunch of numbers on a data printout. It wasn't until a few days later, when an astronomer named Jerry Amen was just doing his job reviewing the logs, that he found a sequence so wild, it looked like absolutely nothing he had ever seen before. So why was this signal so mind-blowing? Well, it's because it was a narrowband signal. See, in nature, cosmic radio sources are messy. They broadcast across a whole wide range of frequencies, kind of like cosmic static. But a narrowband signal, that's different. It's focused, it looks artificial, it looks engineered. It is exactly the kind of targeted transmission that SETI scientists are hoping to find. So you can just imagine Jerry Amen faced with this data that looks for all the worlds like a potential alien message. What do you even do? Well, he grabbed a red pen, he circled the sequence of numbers, and he wrote one simple, perfect word right there in the margin: wow. And that's the name that has stuck with it ever since. A moment of just pure scientific astonishment captured on paper. But of course, that astonishment quickly turns into investigation. The problem is, the WOW signal was a one-time thing. It has never, ever been detected again. So how on earth do you solve a mystery that completely vanishes after just 72 seconds? For decades, the debate has pretty much boiled down to these two possibilities. On one side, you've got the alien hypothesis, that this was a deliberate beacon from some ET civilization. I mean, that's the most exciting idea, but it's also the one that needs the most proof. And on the other side, you have the relentless scientific drive to find a natural explanation, some weird, rare cosmic event that could fake an artificial signal. And believe me, science has been working hard to explain this thing away. The theories have been all over the place. Maybe it was a hydrogen cloud from a passing comet. Or maybe it came from a specific sun-like star in that exact part of the sky. The latest idea even suggests it could have been a super rare type of radio burst from a star, a totally natural event, but one so fleeting that we've never been able to catch it happening again. The mystery just continues. So for almost 50 years, that radio blip has been this ghost in the machine. But what happens when the mystery isn't some faint sound from the past, but a physical object from another star system, visiting us right now? Okay, let's jump forward to today. We can now detect objects that have literally traveled from other star systems right through our own cosmic backyard. 3I/Atlas is only the third interstellar visitor we've ever confirmed. And just like the WOW signal, its arrival immediately kicked off some really intense debate. So the story starts when the Atlas survey in South Africa spots something new in the sky. As astronomers tracked its path, they realized, wait a minute, this thing isn't orbiting our sun. Its trajectory was a dead giveaway. This object was an outsider, just passing through from deep space. And you guessed it, immediately, those what-if questions started all over again. And this brings us right to the heart of the conflict surrounding 3I/Atlas. Was it a natural wanderer from a distant star, or was it something more? And of course, the most sensational theory is the one that grabbed all the headlines. One controversial paper actually floated the idea that 3I/Atlas could be alien technology, and even went so far as to speculate it might be, quote, possibly hostile. I mean, it's an idea straight out of a sci-fi movie, perfectly designed to capture our imagination, and maybe our fears too.
But, and this is a really, really important but in science, before we jump to conclusions about hostile alien probes, we have to rule out everything else. And in this case, the overwhelming evidence points to a much more familiar, though still really exciting explanation.
And here it is. NASA and pretty much the entire scientific community are clear on this. 3I/Atlas behaves exactly like a comet. It's just an icy body, probably got knocked out of its home star system a long, long time ago, and has been wandering through interstellar space ever since. As it got closer to our sun, it warmed up and started releasing gases, just like any other comet would. So, where does that leave us? We've got an unsolved radio signal from the past and an interstellar comet that we've identified. They're two very different stories, but you know what? They both point to the same profound truth about our quest for knowledge. And this, for me, is the key takeaway. Even when the answer isn't aliens, these events are incredibly valuable. The WOW signal pushed us to build better telescopes. 3I Atlas is helping us understand how other solar systems might be put together. These mysteries aren't dead ends. They're the fuel that drives science forward.
So, what does this all really boil down to? Well, it reminds us that extraordinary claims need extraordinary evidence. The bar for proving alien life has to be incredibly high. It also shows us that science is a process of elimination. You've got to rule out nature first. But maybe the most important lesson here is that every single anomaly, every mystery, adds another piece to this giant cosmic puzzle. The real story, the real adventure, is in the search itself.
Which leaves us with one final, lingering question. After all this searching, if one day we actually get a signal that is undeniably, unambiguously intelligent, what do we do? Do we broadcast our existence to the stars? Or do we just listen?